Hi, I'm coming to you today with a yarn haul. I have bought a lot of yarn over the past few months, so this is probably a collection of yarn and knitting related things from the past 3 or 4 months. So that included my birthday, and all I asked for was yarn, so have some yarn from my birthday. And also I went on a trip to Norway. It was such a lovely way to see Norway actually, and to get speaking to people. So I am going to begin, and I am coming to you from the floor because someone has taken my seat, but it's fine because I've actually got better access to my things. So let's get going. In my first bag of yarn, I didn't get this from Beautiful Knitters in London. I'm just storing it in this bag because they have such lovely bags. But the first yarn I'm gonna show you is a jumper's quantity of this West Yorkshire Spinners Fable Brushed Aran. So it's Falkland wool, British alpaca and British mohair. I should also mention I'm also going to talk you through what I plan to make with it, because I tend to only buy yarn if I've got an actual plan for it. So I have got 6 balls of this lovely green yarn. It's so beautiful and it's like really soft. I'm super impressed with this. This is all combined into just like one thread, so you don't have to hold multiple balls of yarn at the same time to get this lovely halo effect. I don't know if that's like coming up well or not on camera, but I've got 7 balls of that, and I've got 3 balls of the white. So the green is moss, I believe. Yeah, it's moss, and the white is feather. Yeah, feather. I've got 3 balls of this, and the story behind this jumper is I walked into a yarn shop where my parents live, and they had knitted up this sample of a jumper, and it's actually one of the things that really made me want to get into knitting was seeing this jumper. I was like, that is my dream jumper, and I like bought the pattern for it way before I had the skills to do it. Like, I still don't know if I can make this yet, but the goal is to make this. It's the Cassandra Snowflake jumper, and it's in this folklore book by West Yorkshire Spinners. There's loads of other lovely patterns in there, which I'm sure I'll get around to, but this snowflake jumper is literally the reason. Oopsies. Yeah, this is literally why I basically got into knitting. Was that I was like, I want to develop my skills so that I'm good enough to knit this, because I really want that. And I think I might be able to do it this winter. I've only been knitting for a year now, but I have attempted these colourwork socks, so I feel like I have, yeah, probably might be able to do this. But I might, there's no rush. But I ended up getting the yarn because it was on sale from the Oxford yarn store, so I think it's normally like £13.95 or £14 something, depending on where you purchase this exact yarn from. But I think it's because they were moving their store and they're moving into a bigger store, but they had a little bit of a summer sale, and I was like, I know I'm gonna make this, and I have been keeping my eye out for a sale on this specific yarn for ages. So as soon as it came up, I was like, I need to get that, and so I did, and that is the first bit of yarn I have. So next I'm gonna get into birthday yarn, because I think the way to go through this is chronologically. It's like how it's going to make sense in my mind. But to start with, I got 3 balls of the Knitting for Olive Merino in the colour cream from my brother, which was so lovely. I've already started using it, so that's why I only had 1 ball to show you, but I'm making the mixed rib cami, but I thought I would show you anyway because I still have a ball of it. It's coming along. I don't know if I'll be able to wear it anytime soon because it's getting quite cold today. When I checked the temperature today, it was 10 degrees, so we shall see, but I might be able to wear it under something. It's taking quite a while to do this, obviously, because it's on such a fine gauge, it's knitted up using 3mm needles and fingering weight yarn. But I find it really enjoyable, and once you get to the bit where you're knitting it in the round, you don't have to look at the look at the pattern anymore, so you can just like do it whilst you're watching TV and stuff. So I actually went to this lovely knitting at the cinema event thing. We watched Sense and Sensibility and it was fantastic. So you get tickets to it, you go, and they don't dim the lights like they normally would for a film, so you can see your knitting essentially. And so like I brought this to that because I just knew we're just knitting down essentially, and I've done it exactly to the pattern. I don't know, I'm excited for this to be done. It will definitely be done by next summer when I can wear it. The next birthday yarn I got was this Cardiff cashmere in Cosmo. I got 4 balls of this, but again, I've already cast on the thing that I'm making with this. I'm making the Anna Top by Kiss Kiss Rhinestones, and I've just used the exact colour and yarn that she's used and everything because it just looks so beautiful in the photos. So I shall show you what it looks like so far. There's not much to it, you can't really see it because it's so dark. Maybe if I get close you can see, but it's really, really lovely. It's knitted up on 3.75mm needles, and it's not got that mixed rib pattern that the mixed rib cami has, so it's going by a lot quicker. I cast this on less than a week ago and it's already taking form. You know, you can see, whereas the mixed rib cami I cast on maybe like 2 months ago, and that's how much I've done in 2 months. But I guess as you can see, I work on multiple things at the same time. And the last thing I got for like around my birthday was this Life in the Long Grass sock yarn, and I don't have a specific pattern yet that I've chosen to use with this, but I'm definitely just going to knit up a pair of socks, hopefully something that I can like showcase this yarn in, because it's a beautiful hank of hand-dyed yarn. I only just realised that this is not a skein and this is a hank. Did anybody else make that mistake for a really long time? I've just been calling this a skein for as long as I can remember, but I think, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is a skein and this is a ball. Spoiler. Yeah, sorry, sidetracked. But I got this lovely hank of yarn from Loop Knitting. It's in London and it's in Islington, which is lovely. They're kind of like my go-to for, there's loads of, I need to start a sentence and finish a sentence. There's a lot of knitting shops in London, but I feel like they all kind of like do different things, and I think Loop Knitting has the most beautiful selection of hand-dyed yarn. So if I ever want some like really special yarn, that is where I would go to for it. One of my other favourites is Beautiful Knitters. It's where I got the Cardiff cashmere and the Knitting for Olive, and they are so nice in there. They're so, so lovely. Next, I am going to go through the yarn I got from Norway. I was in Norway for a week and we stopped by 3 yarn shops when we were there, and I got things at all 3, so let me take you through what I got. I'll start with like the first shop that I went to. So at the first yarn store I went to, I picked up 12 balls of this Peer Gynt. I don't know what shade it is because it's one of the petite knit colours and it's not got the name of the yarn, it's just got like the number, so it's 3091, and it's just this beautiful dark brown colour. I picked this up to make the Honey cardigan, which I've been seeing a lot, and it looks so lovely. I really like brown knitwear. Yeah. I got 12 balls of this. This is what the pattern recommends. It also recommends holding it with the tin soft silk mohair, but I didn't want to hold it with mohair, so I got some alpaca at a different yarn store, which I will show you when I get to it. The reason why I didn't want to knit with mohair is because I just made a cardigan with mohair and I don't find it particularly itchy, but I just really wanted to try alpaca as well. From my opinion, as someone who has only knitted with the Knitting for Olive soft silk mohair, basically, long story, I like only buy, in terms of like the silk mohairs, I kind of only get the Knitting for Olive one because they don't kill the silkworms in order to get the best silk. Like, they use like the leftover cocoons, so it's like cruelty-free silk, which is why I choose that. But I've not experienced other mohairs, and I would absolutely get the Knitting for Olive mohair again. It's really nice and fluffy. I used it on my Robinson wrap cardigan and it was so fun, but the alpaca is a lot cheaper and it seems less scratchy, so I really wanted to give it a go. A bit of a tangent for yarn I've not even shown you yet, but I got 12 balls of Piaget. I think it goes, I mean, it kind of blends in with my hair, but I have a lot of brown knitwear already and I just love it, so I was like, why not? The next thing I picked up was also from Sadness Gone. I got the Tinlina. I picked up 8 balls of this from the same shop as that. I can't remember, I'm not going to be able to remember the name of the stores, I'm so sorry. But I picked up 8 balls of this to make the seashore skirt, which I'm so excited about. I'm not really in any rush to get it knitted up because it won't be the weather to wear this for a while, and I think it's just going to take a while because it's like a lacework skirt. It's not too, like, because I'm going to be holding this double, I don't think it will take too long, but it's still, I'm going to make the long version, so it's still going to take a while. Yeah, I'm very excited about it. I saw Kika post a video of her in the skirt that she knitted up, and I saw she'd released the short version of the skirt, and I didn't really think I was going to knit it. Like, I just didn't, I couldn't see myself wearing it basically, and the short version was a knee length version of the same skirt, which hopefully I will remember to put a picture of here. But then she released the long version and I got the exact colour that she's used. It looks quite, the yarn looks quite light, but in her videos it looks a bit darker, but I love this colour anyway. And it just looked like something I would never take off. Like, it looks so beautiful. I've never knitted anything up with this yarn before. It's a cotton, viscose and linen blend, so I'm a bit unsure of how it'll wear over time. I'm especially worried about it stretching out, but I'm in between the two smaller sizes, so I'm just going to knit the smaller size, and it's got an elastic waistband, so hopefully even when it inevitably, I feel like, is going to stretch out over time, hopefully it still looks really nice. I did get one more thing from that first yarn store, which I forgot about because I had this in a different bag, but I got the Knitting for Olive merino and soft silk mohair. I was literally just talking about this and it would have been amazing to have held up as I was talking about, but yeah, like, as you can see, this mohair is very lovely, very mohairy, but I got these two to hold together to make a scarf, one of the scarves by My Favourite Things Knitwear. I can't remember it off the top of my head and I haven't bought the pattern yet, so I don't know too much about it, but I don't know if this is going to meet gauge, and I was kind of just like, because it's a scarf, it doesn't really matter, and I was kind of just holding up all of these different colours to me to figure out what colour scarf I wanted, and I was holding this up and I was like, this is really nice. Okay, it's looking quite, I don't know if you can see, but I thought this was really beautiful. I thought it was like very striking, and I just wanted a beautiful accessory to wear in the upcoming winter months, something to keep me warm. And if there's leftover yarn, I was thinking I could make the penny gloves and just have a matching scarf and glove set, because these look very small, but from knitting with them, they have a surprising amount of meterage on them. So I'm hoping I can do a scarf and gloves, but the scarf is what I bought it for. Hopefully you can see. It's just so beautiful. I've not even said what colour it is. This is Bordeaux. And then in the second yarn store I went to, I got really overwhelmed. It was a really lovely shop, but I don't know what happened to me. And I was there for so long and I just wasn't, I don't know if maybe they didn't have just quite what I was looking for, which was such a shame because they had such a large selection of things. I think I was trying to think of things I could make, whereas my game plan the whole time with all the yarn stores in Norway was I had a list of things I wanted to make and specific patterns I wanted to make, so I had like, I knew what sort of yarn I was looking for, and I just wasn't seeing anything in this second one. So after spending a really long time looking and umming and ahhing over a few things, I ended up picking up this yarn kit basically. Let me take it out of the folder so you can see it properly. It's all crumpled because it's come a long way, but it's to make these mittens, and they had a couple of them knitted up so you could like see the different color combos, and I really loved the blue and white, as you can see. So I've got a dark blue, light blue and white. This should technically make 2 pairs of gloves if I change over what I use as like the main color and the secondary color. Well, I should have taken a picture because they were beautiful when I tried them on and they were so lovely. So I ended up not getting anything that was on my list, but I'm still very happy with my little kit. It is this Solberg Vilja 100% 100% wool. I've never heard of this yarn, but I saw it in a lot of the yarn stores there, so I think this must be quite a common yarn there, I don't know. From the third yarn store, I picked up 3 balls of this Isier Alpaca 1. I got this to knit my dad a cardigan with, so the reason why we are in Norway was for his 60th birthday, and I said I would knit him a cardigan. His birthday has long passed, and I just casted this on 2 days ago. This is what I got the alpaca for, and I'll talk about the other yarn that I'm holding with it when I get to it. Like I was saying, I hadn't knitted anything up with alpaca before, and I'm super impressed because it's really soft. It's like very comfortable. And I got it in this, I got it in the color E8S. This is the second last bit of yarn I bought. I got the Sandnes Garn Alpaca something. I got this in the shade 3161. My plan was to hold this with the Peer Gynt that I got to make the Hani cardigan, and they didn't have an alpaca that closely matched this. So I was speaking to the lady at the yarn store and I was kind of like, what do you think the best match is? And I was like, I've got this yarn, I want to hold it with alpaca, and there were a couple of options, and I went with this because I was kind of hoping that it would produce a bit of a marbled effect, but I knitted up a little swatch of this, and I didn't like it. So I did get some other alpacas. So now I've got 3 balls of this that I'm sure I will use because this is such a lovely colour. And I'm just gonna find something that looks better with this. Maybe a jumper. What I ended up doing once I was back was I ordered this, which much more closely matches the Peer Gynt that I got. I think that just looks so much better and I'm much happier with that. I was going to knit it up marbled, but I wasn't 100% happy with it. And if anyone has, like, I'm sure most of you have knitted something before, you know how long it takes. There's no point in knitting anything up that you're not 100% happy with, because it takes hours upon hours and there's just no point. So I ordered this and I'm much happier. The last bit of yarn I got in Norway was this red and black Filcolana Arvetta, and I got this to knit a pair of ladybird socks. So as you can see, I've already taken the thingies off of them. I'm just holding it with this Bird Street yarn, which I also got from the Oxford yarn store. I did frog them because my tension was not good for the colour work bit, so I could get them over my feet, but I just knew I wasn't going to wear them because they were too tight and I just knew I wasn't going to reach for them. Again, no point, just it's always best to go back and figure it out. I did also get these, like, I guess now I can move on to like the non-yarn bits. I did also recently pick up these really tiny needles. These are the 2.25mm Chiagus, and I normally knit socks using the Magic Loop method, but I thought I would give this a try for the colourwork socks because I saw some people knitting their socks inside out and it just looked way better. Wait, I've got one more yarn bit to show you, sorry. This is what I'm holding for my dad's cardigan. I feel like I shouldn't have done this chronologically, and I should have done this. I should have showed you the yarn for the project instead of chronologically, but it's fine. It's done now. Hopefully it makes sense. And I ordered this from, I think it was like Bee Inspired Fibres. It's somewhere, it was in Edinburgh is what I remember. And they were like the only place that had this in light brown. And my dad wanted a slim fitting V-neck cardigan in light brown. I was like, how do you feel about tweed? And he was like, oh, that sounds lovely. So I got him this to hold with this, which has created this. I am using the step-by-step cardigan pattern by Florence Miller. Her patterns are so good. They're really good. They're written so clearly. And this one even has a video tutorial with it, which is amazing. But I showed him a bunch of different options, and this was the one he was liking the most. I feel like it's knitting up fairly quickly because it's on 5.5mm needles, and again, I cast this on 2 days ago, and look how much is already done. You know, there's still lots to go because this is a men's size cardigan. I love this. I hope he's gonna love it. I was kind of like umming and ahhing over what yarn to use for him, because when I tend to do gift knits, I want to use like really soft yarn, but I was thinking about it and I was like, I want him to have this for a really long time, and it's good to just have more rustic yarn. And I will say, for how kind of rustic it feels, it's very non-itchy. Yeah, like it's not itchy at all. I think I could wear this even without like a long sleeve underneath it and everything. What have I got left to show you? The last things I have left are just a few buttons. So I did end up picking, oh, I got a stitch marker. It's nothing special, just a cute little daisy. I ended up getting the buttons for both of our cardigans in Norway, because I was like, that's just nice, you know, like when we wear it, it's just going to remind us of our trips to Norway. So for my Hanny cardigan, I got these buttons. I think that'll look nice. And for my dad's cardigan, I got the exact same buttons, but they're just a bit bigger. I actually think this suits his cardigan more than it suits mine. The last thing I have to show you is, I don't know how clearly, they're just these small beautiful buttons and they've got birds on them, and this is for a top I bought the yarn for a while ago, which is the silhouette top, and I got the yarn in navy and I just thought these cute little bird buttons would be so cute. That is all the yarn I have to show you, but hopefully you've enjoyed watching, and thank you so much for being here. Bye.